Oh, we're here. Oh my God.
What's going on, Brady Bunch?
What's up, guys?
The Brady Bunch.
Good to be back.
There's Marsha over there. Oh no.
Where? Yeah.
She's gone.
What's going on?
Mickey, you're on mute, brother. We've been away
Hello and welcome.
We've been away so long.
By the way, okay, so this is season 2, episode 1, and we are off to a flying start. My screen is out. All my sound is out, and I can't wait to do another season of Carvers and Creators.
There we go.
Let's go.
There's the attitude. That's the attitude we want.
Let's bring it. Let's do it. Hello and welcome to season 2 of Carvers and Creators, a weekly demonstration and discussion with pumpkin carvers, sculptors, and multi-talented artists. We please ask that you please consider giving us a like and a follow on the platform you're watching us on. And please let us know in the comments where you're watching from and if you have any questions for the carvers and our special guest. My name is Michael Mondragon. I'll be running the show, moderating comments, and chiming in from time to time.
Dude, you're so good at this, man.
Yeah,
He's good at it. He's really good. He's really good.
He's practiced. You had to practice.
Let's meet the Carvers. First, he's an artist and sculptor from Boston, Massachusetts. He's a 2019 champion of Food Network's Outrageous Pumpkins, Paul Dever. Welcome.
There he is.
Hey, guys.
Hey,
good
Paul.
to be back.
Right on. Next, he's a multimedia sculpture artist from Tucson, Arizona, and a finalist on Halloween Wars 2019 on the Food Network, Matt Harper. Welcome.
Good to be back.
And once again, we are honored to have a sculpting legend with us tonight. He is the visionary and patriarch of Villafane Studios, carving just outside of Phoenix, Arizona, Mr. Ray Villafane. Thank you so much for being here tonight.
Thank you for having me back.
Thanks for coming back, Ray.
Hell yeah.
Good to see you.
Dude, this is fun.
And if this were a flawless broadcast, you'd be seeing some really awesome new slides, which I'm going to try my darndest to get on the screen because they're pretty awesome. But Paul, are we going to do the wheel tonight?
Sure. Of course we're going to do the wheel.
All right. So I'm going to let Paul describe what we're doing on the wheel tonight. So here we go.
Okay, let me describe a wheel. Well, it's round. It's the same thing as that was there before. And actually, everything on the wheel has remained the same. We've discussed about updating it for the upcoming carving season with more seasonal
Halloween-y things, right?
Yeah. That's the word, Halloween-y stuff. Yeah. But for the time being, I like some of the stuff that was on here. So we're going to still roll with it for a couple of episodes. So we've got our subject, which would be primate, thug, royal, other guy. I'm not even sure what that means anymore.
I think I do you do me.
Hey, you must be the other guy.
Yeah.
Zombie, mammal, punk, and guest choice, elf. And then we've got our emotions: charismatic, repulsive, sulking, hysterical, suspicious, irritated, drunk, grizzled, perplexed, and mutating. That damn
now this is different.
Yeah, we've tried to spice it up a little.
Yeah, this kind of throws us off, makes us super uncomfortable, but at the same time,
it seemed like you had it. I don't know if you had it when I was on, but you definitely had it on the episode I watched with Luke Schroeder. But it was different. Yeah. It was different topics, I believe.
Yeah, that's when we first started out. That's I think that might have been the first episode that we had the wheel.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. All right.
It's good. Great idea.
Yeah.
It is if you want anxiety. Okay, please don't land on those 4 or 5 things I really don't want to do.
Yeah. Come on, baby.
Come on, baby. Thug. I like thug. Thug's
okay.
Good.
We can do a thug.
Broken nose. Have we done thug?
I don't
think so.
It's been so long, Paul. Let's just act like we never did a thug before.
No, never done a thug before.
Let's do it.
Don't land on mutating, whatever you do. Irritated thug.
An irritated thug.
Sounds like an easy one, which will mean it's going to be a tough one.
Yeah.
But I like that. I like thugs are irritated, aren't they?
Yeah, I think just by nature, right?
Yeah.
An irritated thug.
An irritated thug. So, well, that reminds me.
Yeah, please.
Everybody's been asking about carving bags because I like to balance my stuff. And so I used to use some generic bean bags, but I think this year I'm going to start distributing these guys. These are going to be the Deva Customs carved bags.
That's
all
so
yours.
awesome.
For all yours. Locating.
Paul, can I order one of different sizes?
You sure can, Matt.
Well, I'd love to.
King size.
Well, you sure can, Matt.
Well,
No,
I just know we're going to get some big pumpkins this year sometime, and I'm going to need some really big ones.
Well, it's funny you should mention. Well, what I think I'm going to do is I am going to make a bigger round one, probably like a 12-inch one, like a pie plate one for the bigger pumpkins. Because I always have that problem in Chicago because those prize winners, they're so big that they kind of condense. You know what I mean? They're not perfectly round anymore. So I like to turn them on their side because you have more sculpting surface. But I always have the problem with getting them to balance. And last year I used all my bean bags, sort of like a preventing a flood. And I just wedged them under there to keep it balanced. So I know if I had
like
one
a donut.
Yeah. Like if I had just had hemorrhoid surgery or something, one of those donut rings. Only different
name on that.
But for pumpkins.
Oh yeah.
Like a neck thing. Like
exactly.
That's
a neck pillow for the airport. Yeah.
And that's how I'll get it on the flights. If I gotta go anywhere, I'll just put the beanbag thing on my neck. Stinking like a pumpkin.
Yeah.
Good.
Have you carried a pumpkin carving on a flight before?
I have not yet.
I put a one about the size of like a big kabocha, not very big, but in a suitcase, and just waited fretting the whole time because I had all my tools in there, because I couldn't bring all these knives and everything on a my carry-on. So I did it once, but luckily it was just an hour flight to LA, and it was pretty easy. But that scares the shit out of you when you're. Yeah.
I've had both in luggage as well as in like carry-on thing.
Just walking around the airport with it.
Yeah.
How'd you do it in luggage?
The luggage was on train. Well, it was a fucking train ride to the fucking all the way to Zermatt in Switzerland.
Oh, okay.
I was carving in Germany, and I was just sometimes I was just like in my flow. I'm like, I can't get enough of this, and here I am going, to up into the Alps by myself, and like thinking that I'm gonna want to carve. I didn't want to take a. Needless to say, I didn't carve a thing, but I thought I was going. When you get into that zone, you're like, I can't get enough of this. I don't want to sleep or whatever.
Yeah.
So I carried that in my suitcase, but I did carry one on a carry-on to New York from here.
Oh wow!
On an not a train, but on a plane ride.
But actually, in your carry-on?
I actually held it in my arms.
Oh, you held it in your arms the whole time?
Yeah. I carried it on.
Carried it on.
Like a baby.
I think I had it in a bag or something, but not like a not like a luggage bag.
Well, if you are carving or creating with us tonight, we're going to give you 5 minutes to grab your tools, pumpkin, squash, any other perishable item. While you do that, we usually have a ceremonial toast. To our creations. I don't know, Ray. I don't think you're drinking tonight. If you have a water or anything, or
I got some water here.
There we go. So Ray going with water tonight.
Water and clay. I'm gonna work on this clay sculpture that I need to get done.
Yeah.
I don't even have a butternut squash. I've noticed that last year I was able to score some awesome butternut squashes, big ones, thick ones. Not like I don't like when they get like crazy elongated and stuff. But this year I've not found every time I've gone to the store at the supermarket, I take a look and I haven't found anything interesting yet.
Me neither. Actually,
they're
normal shape.
They're few and far between. I found this little chode-looking guy.
That one's not bad.
It's pretty mile thick, and it just got a little seed pocket at the bottom. But
so I like when they're very uniform like that.
Yeah, you can get a good head shape out of it. So.
Hey,
speaking of beer, right?
There you go.
So timely, Mickey. You're so timely.
So what, Matt? What do you got tonight?
Well, I saw on the internet that today's something about IPA, right? IPA day or something. And again, I think if you guys have seen me, I don't like them. I don't really like the way they taste or anything like that. But I have them in my fridge from when Paul was here. So this is a Modern Times IPA, and that's as much as I know. It's just a really cool looking can. So I'm going to take like 2 sips of it, and then I probably won't finish it.
Matt, that might be wine at this point. I was there in April.
It might pour out like sludge.
Yeah, you're going to want to filter that.
That's awesome. What do you got, Paul?
Well, I was lucky enough to visit my hometown of Malden, Massachusetts, about a month ago now, and there's a new brewery in town called Faces. And I got to sample some of their delicious beer. So tonight I'll be having, I believe it's Ultra Wave.
Actually,
Nice.
I'll just have some water and a gummy.
There you go. There you go. Same result, Ray. Same result.
Ray, we call this carving oil. So if your oil happens to be chewable, that's fine.
Carving gum.
Yeah.
Carving gum. And mine is 6.2 IBUs. I believe that's dumb.
Nice.
Is that what it is? I swore I was going to get it right over the break, and I drank enough to figure it out, but I didn't. Nothing got stored to memory, strangely enough. It is really
You
really
did
good,
enough
though.
research, but you didn't follow through with the development.
Exactly. I did my homework. I just didn't turn it in.
Well done.
That
I
was
actually
good.
have one. It's from Brewery X in Anaheim, California. It is the Pint Whacker, and if you look, it looks like a tennis ball can.
Yeah, it does.
Oh, how cool is that?
Yeah, so this is a Mosaic IPA, 6.5 ABV, and I think I've had this once before and really liked it. And hey, it's National IPA Day, so when in Rome.
Well, merry IPA day then to everybody. So cheers. Here's to season 2. Ray, thanks for joining us.
Yep. I have
Thank you, sir.
sativa, 5 milligram gummy.
Where is it from?
It is I don't know.
Give us a dispensary.
Yeah, the dispensary name is freak, where did my wife go here?
Give him a shout.
Curaleaf.
There you
There
go.
we go.
Nice. Give him a plug.
There you
Awesome.
Perfect.
Well, while we're starting up, I wanted to wish this guy a happy birthday. He had
Good.
yeah.
Wow. Wow. How embarrassing is that? Thank you.
Where did you
Matt-
get all that? Where did you get all the tinfoil? That's a lot of tinfoil.
And the hair. Where'd you get the hair?
Yeah, that tinfoil background. I think they had to just put that right in the Smithsonian after I was done with it.
How old
But
are
it's-
you in that picture, Matt?
That was my wow.
11th
16?
birthday? I figured
No, that was I was like 16 or 17. I was like that was my senior portrait or part of it. Like the package. You go to Duke Photography in Phoenix, and they had this. You could get your normal with a tie, but then you could get really cool and wear a swatch and a cool white shirt.
Watch.
All right.
Yeah, and
So
we
that was-
went from. Yeah, thank you, Mickey. I'm super happy to have that.
I figured, what do you get? The guy who has everything, you give him an embarrassing picture from 1986.
Yeah.
And now I would say that this is embarrassing. I think the more embarrassing thing is I've had this since 1986 and I've kept it. And probably for a day like today. And I have no earthly idea why I have this picture, Matt.
Oh, wait, I do.
Where do you have it?
Like this moment right here.
I know it's framed in his bathroom, probably.
Yeah.
Hey, so can I ask a question?
No.
If this was part of the senior package, this must have been the inside of the package. What did the outside picture on the package look like? 'Cause that looks like the liner.
Yeah, this is the liner. Yeah, and all the lyrics are printed on the back.
Oh, so sweet. So sweet.
There was a
Good
very
Lord.
famous Burt Reynolds picture where he just has the pillow down
Yeah.
below his waist. And I believe that this was one of the poses. They actually call it the Burt Reynolds pose. So
Yeah, right.
Well, thank you for reminding me, because I will be superimposing Matt's face onto one Burt Reynolds before the night.
So how old are you?
I just turned 51. For God's sake.
In dog years.
Yeah, that's I'm 30. I had a 30-year reunion or anniversary of my 21st birthday recently. That's
Yeah.
I just, everything goes back to when you could drink. I think that's the thing.
Yep.
So it does.
Kind of sort of.
Speaking of that, look at these two fools.
Whoa.
Drink it up.
That's with my chickens.
That's at the chicken coop behind Paul's house last month.
Look how tall he is. It looks like he took the picture from a drone. I told him if we ever do like a Halloween costume as a team, I'm Mini-Me and he's regular size Dr. Evil.
Yeah, that was funny.
We had such a good time.
Yeah.
Oh, Moses.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, look.
Yeah.
Ricky, nice.
Red Sox, Yankees.
That's right.
Is that what that was?
Yeah.
And the Yankees lost.
They did in extra innings. We were not there.
Oh, you're certainly not a Yankees fan, right?
Well, not if you're at Fenway, you can't be.
Yeah, I figured
You're not allowed to be.
No, there were a couple Yankees fans. They were cheering so loud when they'd hit singles or catch a fly ball. It was
when
funny.
they hit singles, that's all they hit then. Huh?
Yeah, right.
I remember that guy going ballistic on the catcher's interference.
Yeah,
that's a baseball joke, by the way. No, that's why nobody got it.
They didn't have a whole lot of big hits that day. That's for sure.
But yeah, no, this will happen. I promise that I will be there because I was really sad to miss this one. This looked awesome.
Yeah, this was a whirlwind of a weekend, boy. I can't believe how much stuff we crammed in. We went into Boston. It's 10:30 in the morning that day, and the game wasn't until 7:05. and we were down on the water, which is on the opposite end of where Fenway Park is. And I just figured, Boston's a small town, so we can walk across the whole city. I'll show them everything. Yeah. The problem is we stopped at just about everywhere. So at one point it was like, oh, we're running out of time. We got to get on the train. And I didn't know Matt hadn't ridden a train before, like a subway train. So I got to take him on the worst of all the lines, the green line.
And everyone was literally, I know it's all COVID-y and stuff, but everyone was touching each other on just about every side. It was kind of like old times. Crammed in.
And Matt, do you grow up here in Phoenix?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Is that your first time to the East Coast?
No. So I've got family back there. So we've been back before, but this is the first time I've, actually got to do the big tourist march. It seemed like, but it was super. We saw Paul Revere's house. He wasn't there, but we saw his house.
I had never even done that. It was the first for me. Oh my God, there is a street that has Paul Revere's house on it. It's in the middle of the North End. It's kind of like it's really in there. Yeah, great family. Got to meet all of Matt's extended family, and we. Now
I didn't think I liked Paul, but now I like Paul.
Oh, good. Yeah. It takes a trip out to really find out where you're at with someone.
That's right.
That's awesome. Well, actually, I want to key in on what Ray is working on now. So I'm going to solo him. So Ray, what are you working on?
Look at that.
So this is a replica of a sand sculpture that I did with Sue Beatrice. About maybe 5 or so years ago. And I'm just doing like a tabletop version. So here's the original sand sculpture. And so I got a little 10-inch model here that I'm almost done with. I got some chess pieces to do. Here, let me take this off to here and I can show you better.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Hey, Ray, how tall is that? You said
10 inches.
10 inches. Okay.
It's so identical to the original. It's crazy.
It is.
You replicate that to scale. Wow. Now, when you were laying that out, is that all freehand? Do you ever use any tools for scaling or anything like that? Or is that all just...
No, I just freehanded and then tore it apart when I didn't like was wrong. There were some areas that were, messed up, and it's still, even like this morning I was looking at it and like realizing, this is a little different, but I'm like, I like that. I like the difference better. It's like with the clay, I'm allowed to do things that we couldn't do with the sand. The sand, you got to make sure it structurally can hold itself and this and that. But just, I just revisited areas and, I left myself room to change things if I want a little. So,
dude, it's coming out amazing. And you're gonna cast these and make these available?
Yeah, I'm gonna cast them, and I'll have some available as resins, and I believe I'll have. I'd like to look into making some bronzes as well. And then I'm actually gonna get some quotes to see and work up a price to have it scaled to a life-size like park statue. You know what I mean? Like to mill the pieces in foam and then coat it with clay and have it, a big bronze of it.
Wow.
But I'm not going to make that. I'll come up with a quote if someone wants to do that.
That's a perfect piece for a park.
Hell yeah.
And that's what chess is played, right? So the old folks play it.
So this is monster clay hard grade, and so it just comes in like a little. I just got a little tub here, and I'll. You could throw this in a microwave, and it'll melt down to a liquid if you wanted to. But I just dig a little piece out. I mean, I did that in the beginning stages, like to build the whole thing. But at this point, I'm just fine tuning and adding little stuff. So I just usually get a small piece and kind of knead it in my fingers and then apply it and carve and scrape at it. Right now, I've gotten the major forms of the leg, so I'm just putting in the skin texture. And in order to do that, I use like canned air to freeze it so it gets really hard. And then okay. And then I could like brush off the crumbs without messing things up. And then I could also take lighter fluid and brush it with the lighter fluid, but you don't want to put too much lighter fluid on it.
Melts
you can put it. It'll really it'll mess with the properties of the wax. So you just want to make sure you do that at the final stages or at a stage where you don't need to get in there and do like little tiny detail stuff.
It's a great tip with the air that freezes it like that.
Yeah, you just hold it upside down. The only thing is like this stuff costs.
You go through it quick. Yeah.
This is like $7-8 a can. This stuff from Walmart is cheaper, but it's got stuff in it to discourage inhaling it and stuff. I think that's what makes it. And when you put it on, it gets all this white stuff usually, and I don't know. It's harder to work and see. It just creates like a frost over it.
Yeah, it's like propane.
But I can blow that off. So by the time you like save on money, you end up using more. So I prefer this one.
Yeah.
Can't really say it's shopped around though. So
I know Costco has like those 6-packs of it. So maybe there's a economy.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out. Hopefully I don't need that much more. I have like another full can. I probably will have to get one more round of this stuff, but
yeah, they look like this. They're these dusters, and they have that same kind of like you turn upside down and blow it. And
yeah. And what do you? I was gonna say, what do you use that for? You probably use it for computers and stuff, right?
No, you know what? I honestly, I'll use it for almost the same reason, but I won't use the frozen part. I'll just use the air to blow. If I have like little crumbs and stuff, sometimes it's faster to do that instead of brushing it out.
I see.
Makes a huge mess, but
Yeah.
Well, Andy's a huffer. I don't.
Yeah, and then I huff. Whatever I don't spray, I huff.
He's walking on sunshine.
However you look at it, it's being used.
Yeah, it's getting.
I only notice that every time I use it on my keyboard that it tastes disgusting.
Yeah.
You should be eating your keyboard, Paul.
Yeah.
For some reason, my fingers always end up in my mouth, whether it's with a snack or something, and I'm just like, what does my food taste disgusting right now? And then I realize I'd sprayed keyboard cleaner.
Use a plate like the rest of us.
No way, man.
Ray,
I don't get sick. I got all those germs inside me.
So, Michael, how do you meet them?
So I was actually born in Phoenix, Arizona, 1970. 4 days into 1970.
Wow.
I met Matt. Actually, Matt's neighbor, John Maurer, right? Was not home, and I go, hey, Matt Harper lives right next to him. I'll go see if he's home. This was in 4th grade, Matt.
Yeah.
And he was, and I never left. And so Matt and I have been friends since 10 years old.
Awesome.
And then so I pursued it was my only choice. I did art. I drew and I painted, and I got a job at a place. You might even know this, Ray. Zia Records.
No, I don't.
Are you familiar with it? It's actually if you're into music and used music, it was like in the 80s and 90s. It was pretty big for like buying music, and I worked in their art department, thank God, and I have a 30-year art career because of it. And so then now we all connected again through this, when Matt and Paul were doing like these Instagram lives and getting them together. And I'm like, hey, why don't we just put this together as a show? I actually did it so they could do it, and they won't let me go. So
you're really good at it, man.
Yeah, Ray, you heard the preamble he has, and I'm sorry, Mickey, you're too good to go now at this point.
No, I'm serious. Like from the first time we did this show, I like, dude, that Mike, he understands. He's really good at it.
Well, I appreciate that very much.
All right, easy, Villafane. He's on a contract. All right, I know.
Yeah, I'm gonna steal him.
I can smell a poacher when he's coming.
Yeah.
Yes,
as my
Mickey
old baseball coach used to say, me giving you praise doesn't get me base hits from you. So, that's why I'm mean to you. And I'm like, okay, whatever.
Okay. That plus he's no.
Yeah. Thank you, Tony Craig. You're the best. But yeah, and I also, the thing that I like about this too is I get to talk art with like super talented people. And like for instance, as I'm
that's Elia's work right there, man. That's incredible.
Yeah.
So
that's sand. That's out in Ocean Park, right?
That's Ocean Park. I just knew I wanted him to do an iguana. The rest is all him, man. He just kind of they had a beautiful adult male iguana there, so he went and photographed it and spent weeks on that thing. And God, it's incredible.
It's hard to believe it's sand.
Yeah, and one of the things that I love about this is I get to ask questions about this. Like I can, if I had to make this, like I can imagine the effort and planning and the hours that are put into this. And it's a lot of people will just look at this and say like, oh wow, this is really impressive. But I think as artists, we're all maybe more impressed about the incredible detail of it. The size of it, and the fact that you're replicating it, stuff like this on a smaller level is even like it's further incredible.
That thing is, God, I wish I remembered the size of it, but it's massive. Like, I mean, it's a big sculpture. I don't even remember. I kind of want to say that the pound up that it, it's a sand sculpture. So you build a wooden box and you throw some wet sand in it and you compact it and then you peel the box away and you start carving. I believe the box on that was 16 feet long.
Oh my Lord.
But I can't be sure, but I believe it was like 16 feet long.
Wow.
Yeah, wow. I was really fortunate to have on that job. I was able to assemble like pretty much a dream team of sand sculptors. And when it comes to sand, Elia's probably the best in the world.
Amazing.
I mean, look at the spines on that thing. Just to, there's all all that negative space.
Yeah.
And some of those probably fell as he was working on it, Yeah, and then the scales, the perfection of the scales.
It's remarkable.
Yeah.
And the skin on his neck looks like you could just like touch it and it would move just like skin. It's like so just beautifully done.
Yeah, the spines on the back that you could have just done them all straight and just kind of been okay with that. But the fact that they're all like different sizes and different directions, it really gives it that realism. I mean, like this is out of sight. This is so crazy.
Yeah, I didn't even get to see, and that's another one. I didn't even get to see that iguana in person because I was there. We got the job started. I was there for 5 weeks, and then I left. So there were 6 sculptors. 5 other sculptors and myself. And for 5 weeks, we all worked on it. And then for additional 8 or 9 weeks, I left Ilya there the longest. He stayed there the rest of the time. Like he did that panda there as well.
Wow.
And then Suzanne Rusler did the snake behind and the koala bear there. And then who else? And then Nikolai was there for a couple of weeks after. But there was a small crew of 3 there for the rest of the time. But the majority of the rest of the time was just Ilya.
Wow.
And he did a lot of that work with so the first 5 weeks we were the area we were working was sectioned off, so we were able to work there's no crowds coming in and out,
Yeah.
But after 5 weeks, we got the main big ocean scene done with this panda scene, and then we left a few sculptors there while the park opened. So there was tons of traffic, of people in and out, and noise and music, and just it wasn't like you could just get lost in your own little world anymore,
Yeah.
So how does a project like this? Does someone come to you from the organization and they say, "Hey, we want you to do an installation"? Like, how does that work?
So it's a client that I've worked with in the past. We did a show called Carvers.
Oh, that was the same place. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. That was Ocean Park. It's kind of like a Disney or something like that. In Hong Kong, and they contacted me back in, I don't know what year it was, but it had to be almost 10 years ago, maybe 8 years ago at least, to do a pumpkin installation there. So I brought out, it was myself. I had Andy Bergholtz, Sue Beatrice, and Chris Vieira. So we all went out there. And we taped that show. We actually had more people out there than that. For the show, we only had those 4. But just like this sand thing, once we got the main installation done, I had to have sculptors there working for over a month longer, straight through Halloween.
That's cool.
So I was just there to get the thing installed pretty much, and then I had a whole crew of sculptors that did sort of maintenance on it, and so David Ducharme, who else did I have? God, names are slipping me, but anyway, I had amazing team there. And they're probably watching, thinking, "You motherfucker, amazing!"
That was me.
Say my name.
I blame it on the gummy.
I think kicked in quick, fellas.
Did their checks clear?
It's a fast acting gummy.
Yeah, there was just a question.
Mr. Amazing, I had there.
There's a question about Andy Bergholtz. If you were, if you still talk to him.
Yeah, Andy Bergholtz is dude. He's off the charts amazing. He does a lot of, his stuff is in the movie and TV sort of special effects stuff. But yeah, and he works a lot with clay. He's pumpkins was not really his thing. He kind of went in it for a little bit, but sometimes even with the pumpkins, my wife says I killed I killed Halloween for us, because they got into this whole thing and and just kind of ruined it. And that was one of the things Andy said. He says, "Man, the whole pumpkin thing, it just ruined my Halloween stuff." He's like, "I'm done with that." Like I don't even have like Halloween comes. There's nothing at this house. Like lights are off. No, seriously, lights are off. Usually we're not home. If we are home, lights are off. We're dead tired.
Yep. There was actually a question for you, Ray. Do you hand these projects like you're doing right now, like the elephant, to get molded, or do you do it all?
No, I hand it off. I used to do a little bit, when I worked with the stuff for Marvel, like Mr. Amazing before. I was thinking Rudy Garcia was another one of those artists. It just came to me. So anyway, I hand the molding off to Jason Wires, who actually does a lot of the molding and casting for stuff like these Marvel and
Sideshow,
Blizzard, clients like that. So I handed off to him to do when I was doing the collectible stuff. Once in a while, I would do the molding and casting, but that was only because typically you only have to provide 3 castings. Like if I did an action figure for DC Comics, I would only have to provide them 3 castings, so that was kind of easy to manage. But my molds are usually a good mold maker is a methodical kind of really, good planner and stuff. And that's not me. Like my molds look like I spilled silicone everywhere. And so, I definitely hand that type of stuff off.
I think that's one of Matt and Paul's anxieties about molding. Am I correct on that, guys?
Yes, and I have completely lived all the nightmares that I talk about. I know my limitations. Yeah. I tried to do one of the pumpkins, like, Mike Regan and Casey Love told us, they'd say, "Oh, it's so easy you can actually do it." And I believed them. I believed in myself, and I sat down and I sealed it to the base. And wouldn't you know, gourds have gas, so it expanded, like the air trapped inside the gourd, because I'd left no way for the air to escape. So when I brushed on the mold and I let it set, I came back a half hour later and there was like a balloon off the side of it. So I was like, so I reached out and was like, "What did I do wrong?" I said, "Well, you got to let the gas escape somehow." And I'm like, "Nobody told me they had gas. I need a book." I need a book.
You should have told me that $100 ago.
I was gonna say exactly, like $40 in silicone easily.
Yeah. Well, it's just lining your trash can nicely now.
There you go.
Yes. Oh yeah. Well, like
when you make a mistake with mold making, it's usually expensive mistake.
Oh, yeah, and it scares you away from doing it again, because you're like, I don't know exactly where I went wrong, but I can't, I can't drop another $100 on. All right, here we go. I'll try it again, and you make one little layer. I know it's a process, but my God, that's why I'm with you, Mickey.
So many people ask like if I mold or cast stuff, and I don't even know. I don't even have much of ambition to not just to do that, but for me, like for this type of stuff, obviously I get molded and cast, but like for the pumpkin carvings, there's a part of me that is very resistant to it for some reason, because I feel like it kills the magic. Like it is cool because it's a pumpkin carving. You know what I mean? Like a cool ice sculpture is so cheapened to me, and the magic lost if you cast it in clear resin. Like it loses the whole purpose of it for me.
Right.
And I don't 100% think that way. I mean, there is part of me like, but a little foam pumpkin replica would be kind of cool. Like I understand that. Yeah. But I don't know. Like I'm usually on to like making the next thing instead of trying to like make copies of the last thing, especially in a way that's not magical. Like I love the vibe of magic, man. Like it has to feel like that for me. And
taking it out of the temporary, because it is such a temporary medium, taking it out of that and putting it into something permanent. I totally get that.
Yeah, it kind of kills it. I'm like, well, I guess I'd rather just sculpt it. Like if you like that pirate that I did on the pumpkin, well, let me just sculpt a clay one or something, or whatever. But I'll be molding stuff. Actually, probably what I'll probably do is do scans of it.
Scans of the
little scan of it.
Yeah.
Instead of
that's awesome. Yeah.
But you know what? Like the thing is and one of the things that I hesitated. Now that was just one. Like that was only a percentage of the reason. The rest of one of the other reasons I don't usually do it from a carving is that, like pumpkin, when you carve something in pumpkin, the material of the pumpkin is very like translucent and juicy, and it works perfect for flesh. But as soon as you mold and cast that and pour it in plastic, it will be riddled with scratch marks and fucking little dings and stuff that you don't see because the light is going through it. You know, it's like the material of the pumpkin is so forgiving. And when you make a mold, if you were to pour it in resin, I mean, I guess you could pour it in like foams and stuff, but it can get pretty expensive if the more you try to lean into something that's a little bit more of that more forgiving like that, that'll hide those imperfections. So I have like made in the past, we've done, even Andy did a fake pumpkin that we never got used for. What's that beer company with that dude who's the gray haired dude that
Dos Equis.
Yeah. So he did his face on a pumpkin, but not through a pumpkin carving, through clay, sculpted the pumpkin, and stuff like that. And I did also, we had these little wall hangers that the company that makes the vine arms for me, they had some little replica things. And same thing with that. Instead of like molding a actual pumpkin carving, I like sculpted a pumpkin and sculpted a face because it would translate. It'll look a little bit more truer that way than actually going there and carving it out of a real pumpkin.
That was the witch. That was the witch. Right?
Yeah. So you would be able to, with the clay, you could fine tune it to at least achieve the look without having all those scratches and little dings that it's almost impossible to smooth out. You don't see them on the pumpkin, but you know. Yeah. Plus, if you're gonna design the pumpkin, at least with the clay, you do make a mistake and you could fix. You can really fine tune it how you want. This pumpkin, obviously, you guys know it's one way usually. Yeah. You make a mistake, you roll with it. You know.
Yeah. I kind of liked it when I could see that wouldn't kill me. You know what I mean? Seeing some of the tool marks and the scratch marks.
Yeah.
It would almost remind me that I made it. Because sometimes when it's so perfect, you kind of like, Jesus.
Yeah, no, I totally agree.
I remember being a kid and staring at certain like toys and just looking for a mistake and being like, this thing is just flawless. Sometimes I like seeing the little flaws.
Yeah.
The only thing, the air bubbles when you make a mold is like the kiss.
It kills me. Yeah.
Like,
especially a big gas one.
One that's about the size of your head.
Gas bubbles probably 10 times worse. Probably would have looked cool if I casted it though. It would have been like the Elephant Man.
How big of a pumpkin was it? Was a butternut or a pumpkin?
No, I did one of those kabokas. You know, kabochas.
Okay. Like this. Yeah.
Yeah, like that size.
It was kind of turned on its side, that one, right, Paul?
Yeah, it was like a zombie kind of thing.
It was so damn good, though. I was so bummed when I heard it didn't make, I was like, I wanted a copy of that thing.
You were bummed. Like Ray said, I hate getting organized for stuff. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to do this the right way. I'm going to measure things out. I got my scale.
You seem organized, really.
I got my timer. I got... and then I went and got a cup of coffee or something and came back and I was like, this is why I don't do these things. This is why.
I would text you. I eyeball everything. Like I was just like, dude, I'll sit and sculpt with the wrong tool for like hours because the other one's somewhere over there, and I'm okay for now. And take like twice as long with the wrong tool.
But then you would have got
mold.
And you would have been out of the zone, though. Like when you're in the zone, even with the wrong tool, you don't want to break that. You know, you don't want to break that little tiny concentration. Yeah.
Yeah, but the tiny little concentration turns like 4 hours.
4 more hours.
10 minutes with the right tool.
You guys are bringing up something that I definitely wanted to bring up. You guys talked about the money part of molding, but the time thing is the thing that I think that is actually like trumps everything, because you feel like you wasted the time. You're going to have to put more time into it, more time, even thinking about it. It's like, I think we're just at the point in our careers where we're just like, we want it just to be the way it is. Like, we don't want to go through any more of the
farm it out.
Yeah. Right. So actually, yeah, right. So farming it out actually makes all the sense in the world. I remember looking at some figures. I used to get like the wrestling figures, like the rubber bendy ones. And then the bubbles used to be in a certain place, but it wasn't on the outside. It was actually into the actual figure. So like it was like these, they were hollow, but it was like they look like little dots. So you could tell right where they actually had the casting. I don't even know what the word for it is, but right where they kind of took it all out and everything.
Like little pitting.
Like the port.
Yes. Yeah. So it's those things that you examine it. You're like, how did they do this? Because on the bottom of the feet, they would have like lines. So you knew that they probably cut them right there, you know. At the end. So it's like it was kind of reverse engineering it.
I have in that closet. In that closet, I have like molds to like a lot of this stuff. Like some of these World of Warcraft figures. Yeah. And they're good. They're not the molds. I didn't make the molds. Like somehow the guy who made the molds, because a friend of mine was making the molds, and I wanted some castings of it, so he just sent me, instead of making extra casting, I had the molds to like these things here. And I think there's still, now molds don't last very long, but some of those, last time I checked, could probably get one casting out of it. You know what I mean? Like once you peeled it off of that, it'll probably rip and tear apart. But I'm pretty sure most of them could yield a casting.
Yeah. One way to find out, Ray.
Yeah.
One way.
One way to find out. Buy expensive resin.
Yeah, exactly.
And find out
really expensive.
Yep.
It's probably better not even knowing if it would make it through another one, because you still have it. You know, you don't want to trash that thing and be like, oh crap, now I have to. Yeah. I can never have it back.
Well, like I did with my.
Right.
As soon as I tried to cast it, I had to throw it away. Damn it! It's all right. That's why we make more. It's like it's a temporary art.
Yeah.
So I noticed, Ray, behind you, you have a skull, and the reason why I bring that up is because I have
love those eyes.
Yeah, and you've really done an exploratory when it comes to these skulls and eyes and hats. So the hats are the thing that really gives it the personality as well. Because it puts it in a time period. I thought that was really awesome.
Yeah, I got this one here. Oh shit! Am I there still?
Yep.
Yep. You're there.
Look at this guy. Let's see.
Oh my god! That's a real pumpkin, right?
Yeah, this is real here. This is from a couple of years ago.
Wow!
How it molded perfectly. It knew of its purpose.
No, I re-wet it and formed it right to it.
Okay, that's awesome.
I just sprayed a little water in it, and it went on it. And there's that guy.
That Arizona air.
Yeah.
So awesome.
So this guy here, I have to give a mustache to.
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
Of course.
He's gonna get like a what do you call it? Like a little Lorax mustache.
Okay.
And then he's got I have a fire chief helmet that goes on him. So my neighbor, this is for his captain. He's a firefighter, so he's not going to get this on. He's going to have this here.
Oh, cool.
Oh, beautiful.
Oh, that's so cool.
And then the captain has a Lorax type mustache, so that's what he's going to get. Yeah. And then this one here, gets, what is it? Well, Well, I got to get another flight helmet. If I don't get a flight helmet, it's just going to get this. It's just going to get the Civil War one because actually this one's this is an extra. I mean, it won't look goofy like that. I don't think they want it goofy like that. But that goes on for the same client who ordered this. This has actually a parachute that goes over it.
Oh. But
when I shipped it to her, it broke, so I'm hand delivering it because I got to do some carving at her place in the fall. So instead of trying to ship it again, because it has like little wires for like a parachute, you know,
airborne, right?
Yeah. So I'm gonna hand deliver it. So I'm gonna give her that skull and that. But yeah.
Wow.
And then Ray, talking about the fall, talk about your plans. I know you do something kind of every year that's different. I'd love to know oh, look at that. Hang on, Mickey. Zoom in on that fella.
That one's sick. They're also good. The eyes are bananas, first of all.
So the eyes are by oh damn it. Okay. Who did the eyes? That fucking gummy, man.
Dr. Eyeball.
The eyeball guy.
Yeah, the eyeball guy. All right. Oh, Ken's Tools.
Ken makes eyes too?
Yes.
Oh, he's in everything.
I'm using a Ken's tool as we speak. Those things are the
he
best.
made the eyes.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Go to Ken's Tools, everyone. He makes amazing tools.
How you holding them in there?
I just have a little bit of like clean clay or soft clay behind it and just stuff.
Okay.
They pop right out.
Just hold on. You're getting. I don't know where the hell you're scoring all these awesome hats either.
Yeah.
Oh, this one I got in Moscow. I was sand sculpting in Moscow a long time ago, probably like 8 years ago, and I just picked this up there. So it's a Russian Cold War flight mask.
Nice.
Wow.
And there's a Russian hat on. That's real skulls in there.
Oh,
did you pick that up in Russia as well?
Yes. Of course.
You can get anything here.
You get vodka and skull.
That's
What's
right.
wrong with your vodka?
This guy, those eyes, well, the eyes that are in the other one came out of
Gordy
from him. But I got
those eyes making the rounds.
Yeah, I got to get other eyes for him.
Wow.
Yeah, those are incredible. So what motivated you to start doing this? Because it's, I mean, as if you don't do enough. I mean, of all the stuff.
I do it.
You started a new thing.
I don't do enough to make on things that are paying. The price.
Well, it sounds like you have
exploring.
clients. It sounds like you have clients for this, though.
Yes. No. Yes. I actually do. So since the virus and everything, I started thinking. That's when I started getting back into clay. And I was like, you know what? I want to make something that, like permanent now. Just for because I'm spent years doing stuff where it's just rotting away and stuff. So I just figured I did this statue here for a client, and I was like, you know what, the skull part of it could be a fun standalone as it is,
Mm-hmm.
And so I've been able to just like throw hats on it and like it's so simple to make another character. I mean, there are some things I want to do that are going to require some sculpting to it, but for now it's been I'm enjoying just being able to just dress it up.
Yeah.
And just have different, variable characters and stuff. So.
Yeah, they're amazing. I get a kick out of every time you post a brand new one. And my first response is, where the hell is he getting the hats? He's got all the cool hats. I want a hat.
Yeah, this guy's been keeping my eye out for hats. Like my son recently made that Bitcoin.
That's awesome with the $100
burning
bill.
$100 bill hat. So I was like, bring it over, man. I'll take a picture of it on the skull.
I'll take that $100 off your hands.
Yeah. That's already burnt.
Yeah, that hat's great.
I want to get there's some other hat. I'd like to do like a Native American headdress on one.
Oh, that'd be beautiful.
Yeah. And then I want to do a whole bunch of different things. Even
Ray,
like a miner.
You have so many damn ideas, and like it seems like you just kind of overflow them. Do you have what makes one of them rise to the top for you? Because I mean, when you did, is it the client saying, "I'd love to have you do this," and here's here's the next project, or is it like you wake up and you're like, I have to do this? It's like
So most of the time I don't really have a client, like usually I'm just like making stuff for the fun of making it.
Right.
And then usually as a client after that happens, you know what I mean?
Right. Got it. Yeah.
So most of the time it's just like, wanting to make something, but actually the ideas are usually born from whatever it is I have at the moment, though.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like I don't know, like I don't think of the idea. The idea just kind of occurs because all of a sudden I got that over there. I mean, put this over here, and it's like playing with. Like it's so important to play with the elements that you have.
Yeah.
So most of the time it's born from that. But then, like when a neighbor across the street says he wants a firefighter and he brings over a firefighter helmet,
so
like
amazing, right?
That's freaking cool,
Yeah.
Yeah. And then so when I go to like the antique shops, like we were, Tam and I, when we go out hiking and stuff, we usually hit these old little towns here in Arizona, so when we're coming out of the mountains or whatever, you stop to have lunch in the town. There'll be like usually there's like an antique shops in these types of areas. Yeah. So I always love, since making the skull, I love looking for, well, even before the skull, just for things like scarecrows and the whole like world that I kind of build.
Yeah.
It's always fun when you have that like authenticity to a piece. You know what I mean? Yep. Like I love using real junk and garbage and like junkyard sort of vibe.
Right.
And so everything has that kind of old weathered look.
Yeah.
So when you go into an antique shop and you find a cool piece of, something, it works well. So I've always kept my eye out for that type of stuff. So when I did the skull, it was like, oh man, I gotta like a hat is always on my mind all the time. Like,
Have you spent time in Bisbee? Have you ever been down there?
I have not been down there yet.
Dude.
I know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Jerome plus, it's I think at one point it was the most populated city in Arizona around the turn of the century. Yeah. And that is loaded with not only really cool antique stores, but like a voodoo vibe. Like that place is haunted. You'd love it. I think you'd.
I know I'd love it. I got to get down there.
You got to do it. Make a road trip.
Jerome minus the giant hill leading into it off the side of the
Oh, yeah. You drove down that.
Yeah. Yeah, that was great.
Everybody
said go to Jerome. They didn't say how you got to Jerome.
Paul lived to tell about it.
Somehow. I needed a moment. When I got to the top and parked the RV, Lenora knew. She said, do you need a minute? And I'm like, yes, I need a moment. I can't believe I can survive that.
Yeah, but Bisbee's really cool in that way too, because you really come in, you go through a tunnel, and when you emerge from the other side of the tunnel, it's like you went back in time. And
I want to go there so bad now.
And you look at in these houses, and they were made, literally by miners who. And so they're just built into the rock, all up in this. You're in a great big valley, and there's no rhyme or reason for the streets. Some of them are one way, some of them you can't. So when you drive around and hike around in there, you just are like,
"What? I don't want to move to Bisbee."
What are these people thinking? Ray, I'm like when I know, because I've been following you for so long, but this would be a place you just fall in love with.
I know it. Everyone's always told me that, and it's always been one of those places. Tam and I said we got to go down there, but it's like for whatever reason, every time we're like in a position where we can go down there, it's like so late in the day already. You know what I mean? So it's like but it comes up all the time.
Yeah, Mickey's your tour guide right here, City of Bisbee. Yeah. Thank you.
So Maddie, give me a geographical education. How far south is Bisbee from you?
So Bisbee's about an hour. So I live in Tucson, so Bisbee's a little more than an hour south of me, but it's like a stone's throw from the Mexican border. It's way down there.
So it's
go back. Yeah, go back, Mickey. It showed a picture of the town. No, not that one.
We can actually look. We can actually see.
Oh, how far? Okay, look at it. This is like we're learning.
Yeah.
It's almost to the
Oh yeah, it's past Tucson.
almost to the border.
Yeah, Agua Prieta is just south. Yeah, but it's anyway. Yeah, I won't keep gushing on it, but they've got a lot of really cool stuff, and I think it'd just be like right up your alley, Ray.
Yeah, we came close to visiting there once when we were coming back from Texas.
Oh yeah, because you have to drive north
Yeah.
above it. Yeah.
But for another reason, it was another day. It was like whatever. But it's been on our to visit list for a while.
Yeah.
I know I'd love it. I already know it.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah,
so
if you
much-
ever do go, I've stayed at places there and stuff, and I can give you some tips because it's you want to stay. There's actually a really cool. It looks like from the outside it looks like a trailer park, but it's old Airstreams that you can rent and stay in that are right there, in the town, like a little almost kind of looks like a 50s lot, of these things. So it's really cool. You'd love it.
Did we lose Ray?
Oh, Ray froze. Oh, there he
there
is.
he is.
Yeah.
There he is.
So you stayed at that little park then?
Yeah, and it's got a bunch of Airstreams and trailers, effectively. So you just stay in a trailer like an Airbnb, and you can come and go from there. But or you can stay in these old. There's a place called the Copper Queen Hotel. That's this old haunted hotel. It's really cool. But enough about Bisbee. You'll love it. You'll love
Right.
it.
Let's talk about Tombstone.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Let's talk about every Arizona town there is. Yeah,
Let's
Let's
talk
talk
about
about-
Ajo.
Mesa. Yeah. That's right.
love that.
Make sure they're the ones close to the ground.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, Paul, I mean, you actually drove this big, huge vehicle up there, which actually I don't think is even like. I think we drove like a little car, so like.
It wasn't
I don't know how
recommended.
you-
No.
There weren't many other vehicles of that size up there, and everybody's like, "You drove that up there, huh?" And I'm like, "I wish somebody told me not to,"
Wow.
but I did
What-
it. Like,
What would you have done? Because you had that. Would you have gotten a smaller car to go up there?
no, I just wouldn't have gone to Jerome.
So easy.
Mission accomplished.
Okay.
No, I mean, you know what? Know who told me to go to Jerome like the most was Mark Evan.
Oh yeah.
He like sold me on the kaleidoscope shop, and
I would have told you to go there too. I love that.
that was
Yeah.
amazing. I thought they were going to be super pretentious because everything's, there's some really
Uh-huh.
expensive stuff. They were the nicest people in there. They were like taking the kids over there. I'm like, please don't break these things. Please
Did you
don't
say
break
you went? Did you go into the old mine? The old mine?
Yeah. We were up there for a couple hours. That place was amazing.
Yeah,
I
all
can't
old
believe this
vehicles
car
and stuff.
collection. Yeah,
Yeah.
outstanding. I was taking
God, I
pictures of
love
all the old
smoking.
signs. Yeah, that's a great family take. There's something for everybody in there.
Uh-huh.
Go in a Prius.
There we go.
My only suggestion is go there in a compact vehicle.
It's like a 35. How big was that thing?
It's a 25 footer. It wasn't even huge, but it's big enough. And
Yeah.
nothing was like a kite. Every time the wind blew, I'm like, well, we're dead. We're good. We're good.
Coming down to Sedona?
Wow.
Yeah.
Across those, whatever you would call it, the plains or whatever it was. Oh God, staying on one side of the road.
Yep.
I'm sweating thinking about it, to be honest with you. It's a lovely family memory I have.
Ray, how often are you're up there a lot, like in the
Yeah.
Oak Creek Canyon, and
We don't usually go as well. We go up to Page sometimes, but Tam and I do a lot of hiking and exploring up in the either the Bradshaws or up up towards either North Tonto or heading up all the way to Payson area.
okay, yeah.
You guys
Wow.
find some amazing spots. A
You
lot
do.
of water I didn't know about.
Oh yeah, West Clear Creek.
It's
Fossil. I'm still trying to find out about Fossil Creek because they had that backbone fire may have gotten down into the creek bed.
Ooh.
So that's like the most magical fucking place I've ever been in my life. Like, have you been to Fossil Springs?
No.
Not,
I'm trying to picture, where is it in relation to Pace? Is it like that direction, or is it towards Sedona?
If you're in Payson, you want to head towards it's like in between Payson and Camp Verde.
Oh, okay, yeah. In the
Yeah.
valley, kind
Off
of. Yeah.
260, just to the south, and
Okay.
it's like the most beautiful place I've ever been. I mean,
Wow.
at least I prefer. It's like I've been to Hawaii and New Zealand and
in Russia. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Mickey's got also.
Yeah, well, that water is so clear, and there's like tons of like little waterfalls, and it goes through canyons, like it's just amazing.
Wow,
this is beautiful. I have no knowledge of this. Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, I can't even the clarity of the water is insane.
Mm. And
so
with the amount
burned,
with the amount of water we've been getting too, Ray. I mean, we gotten tons of rain here. I imagine it's probably beautiful now. I mean, flowing like crazy. I imagine.
Well,
a couple days ago,
it might be all black ash land.
Oh, you're right.
It's just all the water's turning it into like muddy, whatever.
Runoff. Yeah, right. True.
Because that fire, they closed that whole area off, and they said that area is devastated.
Well, that's not good.
So I'm just wondering if it got down into the creek, though.
Yeah.
So it's one of my favorite places.
Yeah.
Is it better than Slippery Rock?
Oh yeah. No shit, right? Dude, when we first moved here, we all went there and like slip and bust your ass rock, like
slide and crack your head open rock.
Yeah. So for those who don't know, this is
slide rock.
It's right. Was it just south of Sedona, and it's
north?
Called, oh, is it north?
Yeah.
Okay.
On the way to Oak Creek Canyon.
Oh yeah, that was one of the places they suggested that we go, but we didn't go. So that was a good move.
Nice work.
Oh no, you should have went there.
Yeah.
Oh damn, I missed it. Next time.
So you can actually. Yeah, you can actually get in this and then slide down it like with no raft, no nothing.
You would have a nervous breakdown.
Bullshit. I'm only afraid of heights. I'm only afraid of heights. Why is it up high?
No. When your kids,
you would be afraid of falling because you can't walk 2 inches there
without slipping.
Yeah.
I would be afraid. I'd be afraid for the kids.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Screw that.
You'd be trying to chase your kids, but you wouldn't even be able to move fast enough to chase them.
It's so true.
You'd be sliding and cursing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's exactly how it would be going.
Yep.
Yeah, forget that. The one on the right. See you later.
Yeah.
Look at these people. This is like.
Well, where'd we go? We went to the Moonlight Ranch or something to see Cathedral Rock, and there's the river that runs next to Cathedral Rock. That was
Oak Creek.
That's Oak Creek. That's beautiful.
That was beautiful. And they had the vortex spot there, and we jumped in at that point. Water was really cold. I was kind of happy about it because it was hot. But yeah, that was beautiful. No slipping and sliding on that one.
See, Paulie, now you got to come back. You just found out about new places.
Yeah,
oh, sure.
Come on,
buddy. I'm already planning on. I'm coming to New Mexico. You'll be in Chicago. Oh, that's right.
Well,
we'll wave on the flights by each other.
Hey,
there we
Paul, I might meet you in New Mexico. Maybe we can make that a deal.
Really? I'm not going to hold my breath.
We have
broken my heart before.
I know. I'm such a heartbreaker.
It really is.
But yeah, we my girlfriend has family there, and
okay.
I didn't get to tell you this before, but look what she grew me.
Oh no way!
She's becoming quite the botanist.
Yes, and actually, this line right here is actually she puts like pantyhose around them to kind of protect them, so it has like a pantyhose line.
That works.
Yeah,
is that a thing? Because I've been trying to grow pumpkins for the last couple of years, and the chipmunks just eat them as soon as they start growing.
Well, she had another one, and the rats ate right through it. She has like video of it, and it's like just hollowed out. But this one they didn't get to. So,
nice. So when are you carving that? When's that happening?
Yeah, come on, Ray.
Yeah, what's on it? There's still time left.
I'm making the commitment now in season 2 that I am going to.
That's what it takes. That's what it takes. He has to have his girl grow one before he'll.
Yeah,
all right,
I said that's what I said. I said until you grow one, I'm not carving one. What do you think about that?
Right.
Ray, have you ever tried to grow them before? Because I know you're like an aficionado when it comes to the type you like and wolves and all that stuff. But have you ever tried to actually grow them in your own garden before? Like
me?
Yeah, you, Ray.
No, I've never grown a pumpkin.
Okay. You didn't get the bug to try to like, make the perfect hybrid that's just like a mile thick and.
No, because I probably no.
You got people that
much rather. I like going to the pumpkin patch and
picking them
walking the field and being able to choose from hundreds that are trained
Yeah.
professional.
All right. Yeah.
Group. And yeah, I do love picking like pumpkins fresh from a plate farm.
Oh, I know, me too.
Yep.
But
We're
never
gonna be doing it soon enough.
Yeah.
I say the same thing. I'm a big sushi and craft beer fan, and people will ask
go
me all
grow
the
your
time.
own?
Well, the people tell me all the time, "Oh, you should brew your own beer. Oh, you should make your own sushi." I'm like,
That I've
why?
never
When you
heard.
have like the most amazing chefs and the most amazing craft brewers make you it, I can buy it.
Yeah.
I've heard the craft beer thing, but I have never had anybody say you should make your own sushi.
Yeah,
That's a California thing, probably.
Is that what it is?
It must
Gotta
be,
be.
yeah. Actually, Paul, there's actually a sushi place that's right walking distance from Fenway Park. It's on the other side of where the Boston Beer Works is. So, of course, I found the high-end sushi in Boston.
Now we know.
Yeah. But sadly, Mickey, Boston Beer Works is closed now.
I know, that was so tragic.
Yeah, it was tragic because I said, "Come on, Matt, we'll go to Boston Beer Works." I
We're
walked up and was
closed.
like, "Oh, we're not going to Boston Beer Works."
Ah,
Bom, bom, bom.
F COVID, really.
That's all right. We had a great time.
I gotta ask Ray a question. So, National Potato Day is coming.
Yes.
When is that?
August 19th.
August 9th. Okay, everybody, set your calendar.
Yes.
And then watch Ray's site like a hawk, because I have a feeling you're gonna do something cool.
I'm gonna try to do a bunch of stuff. Yeah, I'm gonna find a cool potato. Try to, I'm not gonna try. I'm gonna make a cool potato. I'm gonna carve a cool potato. But I also want to release some new content of things.
Okay.
Teddy Tuber stuff, and just
Nice, Teddy.
celebrate like Potato Day.
Well, because I saw when you did you do SpongeBob ones last year? Was that a year before? I can't remember.
I did. Yeah, that was. God, was that last year? Yeah, it was. Yeah, I think it was.
Everything's a blur.
It all blended into one. Like 2 years, kind of blended into one here.
Yeah, that's how I think of everything now.
Yeah, it's hard for me to really. I think it was last. No,
That doesn't matter. They were cool as hell. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, they were identical.
It was amazing. It was.
Hey, I remember that
absolutely-
guy in the middle. That's the one you did on the first time you came on.
That's right, Carvers.
Yeah,
Creators.
yeah,
Gilman.
yeah. He just got destroyed when I tried to move him at one point, and he fell apart.
Did you put him in a cloche and try to pickle him, or was it just?
He was pickled. He was just sitting like in a I don't know. He was
In a
sitting.
jar.
Well, many different things. That was the problem. Moving him from one to another at some point, just like done, toast.
That was enough. He was done being moved.
Yeah, he just like collapsed. Because I'd cut for the gills, I had cut so much in here and had a gaping wide open mouth, so there wasn't any structure holding him there. And he just toast. But this gill, man, one here is holding up. Here, I'll show you. This is I'm gonna transport this back to Dick Van Dyke's house this Halloween.
Oh yeah, that's the one you made out in Malibu, right?
Yeah,
that one.
Wow, that's a big Hubbard, right?
I think he's let's see,
Like a blue.
he's about 16 inches.
Wow.
Wow, that's a big boy.
How are you balancing? You got something top and bottom to keep him, or is he like floating?
He's got. Let's see. If you can see, I got 3 skewers.
All balancing them on. Okay.
Poking at the top. So it's hitting the top here.
That holds him down.
Compression fit there then.
Wow.
So I want to make like a little. What I would like to do is make like a shipping crate. Like a fish market shipping crate.
Oh yeah.
Have it like bust open like wood like that.
Yeah.
Say like Malibu Fish Market or something like that. That was one of the ideas, and then I had a couple of different ideas that would be a little bit more labor intensive. So, but I was also thinking like getting like an empty propane tank that was rusted, you know, and then cut an opening in it, fit some glass, and then have it inside a propane tank that had like a rusted, like this.
Oh, nice. Almost like a scuba helmet.
Yeah, so it looked like he's in like if you're looking, I don't know, like sort of like some sort of, and then put some gauges and stuff on it, like old rusted gauges.
Yeah.
And weld up like a pressurized deep sea rusted ocean tank or something.
Yeah.
Badass.
But that's like a lot more work. Eventually I will do it. Actually, if I don't do it, I might maybe hit up Mr. Travis Higginbottom, because that's his jam. Like he's awesome with stuff like that.
Yeah, he made your table, right? Your kind of that Lazy Susan carving table you got there.
Yeah. That one over there. That
thing's
one that's
amazing.
Yeah, he's made like that little tanker truck.
Oh yeah.
Pumpkins Drive. Yeah, he made that. He's made a ton of like the whole town, all those buildings, the barn, the you know, the saloon.
With a name like that, it sounds like he would make cool stuff. Shit.
Yeah, he always makes cool stuff.
It just sounds.
He's a cool dude.
Makes cool shit.
Yeah, it's only one of a kind. Travis Higginbottom.
Look him
It's
up.
like one of those people when you meet him, you know, like motherfucker, you are like legit. Like you're one of a kind, cool character in my life. Thank you. You know what I mean? It's like he's one of those. Like you don't. It's just Travis Higginbottom, and even the name
cool.
Higginbottom.
That's what I mean. The name says it all.
Perfect.
Hello, Travis Higginbottom here. I make cool shit.
That's what hurt me. This Travis helped on this job. Actually, Travis owns the original. So when I did the sand sculpture, I made a little clay model when I did it, about the same exact size as this, but with no detail, none at all. It was only to know, okay, when we're digging in because I did it to scale, so that when we had that wooden box and we take it out, we knew that okay, about 6 feet up, we got to start, you know, his hand or whatever, you know, things like that. So when you're shoveling the sand, you don't like want to. You could add back with sand a little bit, but you don't want to do it a lot because it'll ruin the structural capabilities of it. So anyway, but the little model I did, he still has that. And then, but this little mouse here is named. It's his Herschel Higginbottom.
Nice.
Oh.
He's been immortalized.
Yeah. And
Herschel.
then in the original sand sculpture, it had Travis's grandma is the cutest little old lady. Like she's like 90 something years old and she's an artist also. So she would come and sit while we were working on this. And it was just awesome. And she had the idea when we did the stump about doing a little carved letters. So I asked her what her, because her husband, he had passed away years ago. But so I asked her what his name was, and I did her. So on the original, it says J and R. So R is not Ray. J. Yeah, R. I forget what the R was, like his name, but it wasn't Ray. And the J was her name, which was Johnny.
Oh,
yeah, her name is Johnny. So, so there's an R and a J in the original sculpture. Right here, I have Tammy and I's initials on it. But yeah, so Grandma Higginbottom was
nice.
She's cool too.
That's what awesome inspiration. Ray, do you see yourself doing, or do you have plans for more big sand stuff? Because everyone loves to see your everything you've done in sand. I swear to God, is just like stupid.
Sand is fun. It definitely is fun. And the sand that we were using for those like the Carefree stuff is like It's from the Salt River here, and it's like some of the best in the world.
Oh, really?
It's difficult to get. I don't have any right now because of, the stuff that I had left over from there I gave to a friend. And even that wasn't a lot. Over the time it had gotten so mixed up with the gravel from in and around Carefree. There's some that the town has at their site, but it's all, contaminated.
Right.
But for some reason, it's hard to get sand from there. Would I do another sand thing? Yeah, absolutely. But it's not like I don't know if I would like do someone else's. Like I would probably want to play with sand again, but on my own terms, or and wherever I want or something like that. So that hasn't really that place for that hasn't happened just yet. Yeah, and I don't, like I said, I don't usually go the sand sculpting circuit, like traveling around doing sand sculpting stuff.
Right.
But eventually, yes.
Good. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I want to see more. Yeah. Yes. I loved your dragon, and I remember, even the book that you made and the whole process. And I think you're an absolute champ for doing all of that process. Like I really never really in my mind envisioned how all the blocking out you have to do and all that before, because it's all subtractive, but from top down, and it's you have to have it done at the top before you get to the middle to the bottom, because otherwise I'm sure that comes up every now and then, but it's just
you have to have it somewhat set, all your markers at least visually or mentally set out as you start from the top,
right.
And it can be see, now I'm talking about that. Well, I need a sandbox again. No, I like short term right now. No, I don't have anything in the plans, but I definitely like sand is a big part of the way I like to play. Like I love playing in the sand at least once a year. Probably not more than once a year because I like changing things up. For
That's
sure.
Awesome.
Yeah,
sand is awesome. That's right. If you have the right sand, just like pumpkin carving, you can grab a pumpkin. It's like when you grab a pumpkin and it's like dry or whatnot. The good thing about a pumpkin is usually you can grab another one.
Right.
You know what I mean? But if you're at a job in freaking Italy,
Russia,
Italy has good sand, but just somewhere, wherever, and you get there and the sand is not the type you like. And maybe I just get spoiled myself by I like fine tuning. And I like having a sandbox.
And the detail you have to get has to be the right sand for you to even get it. Because of all the people that work with you, like the absolutely insane, amazing Russians. I follow those guys and I see the competitions they go to or the big events they go to, and it's just staggering. But you're right. Like if you don't get, and sometimes the elements, if it rains on you, you have to do it over, so it is very temporary.
Nikolai and I worked on a sand job in Italy years ago, and about 7 days on it, maybe. I believe it was a 7-day project. But the last day, and it was the first year that they no longer were using the tents, because we were doing sand sculptures under tents usually. We were doing them on the beach in Italy, but then some of the people who own property inland in these high rises, the tents obstructed their view of the ocean for those 6 or 8 weeks or whatever it was up,
Right.
So they had to get rid of the tents, and they moved the sand sculptures into the little piazzas and stuff in town, and they didn't have tents. And the day after, we worked all the days, we finished that evening, and that evening until the next morning, it stormed. And it's just, I walked over, you could just see things breaking,
rolling down the side.
And then they had to hire, I think they hired a couple of the sculptors to stick around and repair everyone's, everyone didn't stay and fix up their stuff because you had flights back home.
Right.
But there were a couple of sculptors that they had stay to do repairs and stuff, But yeah, even like the sand, like some sand is like great for like detail, but sometimes you get it might have so much clay in it that you get detail, but it's really difficult to block out because there's so much shoveling of dense sand with a clay particle to it that it doesn't, it's a lot of labor. Right. But then sometimes it's so clean. Like if you have sand that's right on the ocean, it's so clean that you could block your forms up, but you're not gonna have the ability sometimes to have overhangs quite as much and stuff like that.
Because it doesn't stick together. Is that why? Because it's just
it's not as compact. You can, even though you compact it with water, sometimes the particle of sand
is
rounded. Yeah. As opposed to like if you got sand, and sometimes they'll have sand, even like sometimes you go to a beach thing on the ocean, but the sand that's used is from inland. Or sometimes it's right there. But I'm just saying, like in Italy, we did it right there on the ocean, but the sand was from like a river, inland river, so the particles of sand were sharper.
Okay.
And they would compact more.
Yeah, nice.
Or if you get real fine stuff, like because sand really is less about it really says the size of it, speaks to the size of it, Right. As you get smaller from sand, you get silt, and then smaller from silt, you get clay. So sometimes when you get this mixture of sand, you might have a little bit like the stuff we used in Carefree had a lot of silt from the Salt River in it.
Yeah.
So it really, you get some fine detail with it, and it was super clean.
Yeah.
And I love the color of it. It wasn't too like sometimes like white sand and light colored sand.
You're getting contrast.
Pretty, but you don't really get as much contrast with that. Yeah. So, Salt River sand, but they stopped selling it for some reason. Or I don't know, like the golf course is all boarded up.
There we go.
And you can't get it.
No, you just got to go to the golf courses at night.
Yeah, at night.
I'll stop sneaking some
up. You can get as much as you want.
Yeah.
So Revere Beach near me has a big international sand competition that starts this weekend, and I think they do the same thing. They bring in sand. They refuse.
Probably.
They're not working with the sand on Revere Beach.
You should go check it out.
I'm gonna take the boys down. I think probably during the day on Saturday.
This weekend, you said?
Yeah. I think they've already started working.
Okay.
But we got a ton of rain today, so that's probably.
Do they have tents there or no? I don't know.
I don't think they do.
No,
I think it's another one where they don't have the tents.
Yeah. I can't do that either. That's all. I did that once.
Competition.
Yeah, like sands competition thing, and first of all, it wasn't even like I was late. I missed the flight getting there. All right, so I was late getting there, and then the first day I'm actually trying to get caught up, I get a call from my wife that they can't find our kid. He's at the time I think he was like 2 or something like that, and we lived right across the street from a river. And
oh my God,
he was fine. He was hiding in the closet, and a little bifold. Even when the police or firefighters came to help look, because couldn't find him anywhere. We checked the house. He hid in the little crack of when the door opened, so they didn't even see him there.
Oh.
But and then he, it's like a little kid. Sometimes they get afraid and they say, I don't remember if he fell. Eventually, ended up later falling asleep, or whatever. But I'm not sure. But I do remember that my mind wasn't on the sculpture.
Yeah.
I mean, I was trying to deal with this, and then when it did get resolved, didn't matter. I was still trying to come off of that, But regardless, the idea of rushing through a sculpture, I don't like doing stuff like that. No. Yeah, I like that. I've grown away from that type of stuff. I don't like even the pumpkin carving shows are the same format, and just not. I mean, I did it, but it's not. I to do it once or whatever is fine, but I don't like. I don't. It's
I agree with you.
I'd
Been
rather,
there,
I'd
done
rather
that
take
kind
my
of thing,
time
huh?
and discover something,
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
So we had a question from John. Do you find sand or pumpkins are more forgiving to work with?
Definitely sand is more forgiving because you could add back with sand. Like you don't want to like add back things that are going to structurally. So when you compact the sand, the particles are nice and dense. So A, they're going to hold more detail, and then B, you can do more overhangs because it's stronger. When you add back, like say something collapses and you wet the sand and you like kind of like spackle it back on, and you could do that in layers and do a whole bunch of stuff, but it's never as strong as the initial compact. Yeah. So it has its downside, but it has, at least you could add back. Pumpkins, I mean, you could glue stuff back on a little bit, but usually it can be a bit difficult. But so it's definitely, plus pumpkins has the fact that it's hollow on the inside is the game changer. Like carving is can be difficult enough as it is for some people. Like I've seen great sculptors, really great sculptors, just like fail at carving because it's just that nature of not being able to put back. They find it and honestly, it's just a mental thing. Like it's really just being able to relax and just say first off is being able to relax and say, I'm gonna fuck up and I don't care.
Yeah.
Like at some point you have to implement that idea if you want to become a better artist or better at anything at all.
Yeah.
I don't care if you're talking about anything, doesn't matter. Like if you want to excel at something, you got to be willing to fuck up. And if you're not, you're gonna tiptoe through the process and you're not gonna go very far. But when you have like a sort of I don't give a shit and playful spirit, because like you got to be able to play, and playing means that you're gonna fuck up and you're gonna enjoy the process of figuring out how to do it.
Right.
Well
said.
And pumpkins, because they're hollow and it's subtractive, there are a lot of sculptors who know what to do, but the mind and there's too much talking in their head of worrying about fucking up that they don't like dive into it how they would with clay, and because they say, okay, if I fuck up, then I'm done. Like, yeah, you are done. Go get another pumpkin, start over. That, you know what I mean? But usually it's like, no, so you get like a mental thing going on. And I mean, it's the same thing that happens on every other subject. And that, we all have our like little fucking guy talking up here that prevents us in this area, but definitely pumpkins is less forgiving than sand by far.
Yeah. And there's another question out there. Have you done any snow sculpting? And another question, have you ever done ice?
All right, so ice, I have just a couple small things years ago, and right around the time when I started doing the pumpkin carving, and not like the pumpkin carving like when like first outrageous pumpkins, even before that, like when I first started doing the pumpkin stuff,
When you were a teacher,
because it was years,
then? Like back when you were a teacher?
Yeah. Oh, wow. So there was a little resort, local resort, and the chef up there lived a few houses down, and he saw I was carving pumpkins, and he introduced me to ice. So he gave me a couple of blocks of ice, and I did twice I did ice sculpture. One was like a salmon jumping out of water. And I don't have pictures. I used to have pictures. I don't, this is before digital cameras, One was a salmon, then another one was a like a bald eagle bust, because the school I taught at was like it was the Eagles, So I did like a bald eagle bust for one of the I don't know, teacher conference type things or whatever.
Right.
But yeah, and then snow. So we lived in northern Michigan, So have I have I made stuff in the snow? Of course, nothing more than anyone else. Like no like extravagant type thing. Nothing with intention, like a snow sculpture where you compact the snow and then carve into it. I left Michigan for a reason.
To never see snow again.
I actually moved to Michigan for a reason. I loved the snow when I first moved out there. Forget it. That's one of the reasons drew me to that area of Michigan that we were at. We were right in the snow belt, and I loved it. I mean, there were times Christmas morning, like 2 feet of fresh snow. And that's so magical to wake up to that. And when you're done shoveling your driveway, it's like way over your head, when the cloud comes and stuff. So I did enjoy that for years, but then it gets, when you get a bunch of kids and then all of a sudden, I'm a teacher and I'm running late because I can't find, he don't know where his boots are or his snow pants or where's your other glove, or stuck in the driveway, like all that.
Or he's hiding in the closet,
Yeah. Are you describing your life or my current life?
Yeah.
Trudging through the woods, woods in the snow to chop wood and shit. No, so that's why I'm here in Arizona. But I know I have not done, nor do you know what? I don't like. I did the ice. I only did it twice, and that was like years and years and years ago. Suppose I've never done it again. I could appreciate ice carvings, but sculpturally, I love surface details. I love to see the surface of something. So I don't like ice where you could see through it, And I don't like snow is the same thing. It doesn't hold a lot of shadows, and you can't get that at least the richness that a sand could achieve. So for those reasons, not so much ice, and definitely have not messed around with snow.
Wow.
Wow. Awesome. Well, I always say it. This is the fastest 90 minutes on the internet, and we have actually gone 100 minutes.
All right.
On tonight.
Nice.
So we did it.
We got bonus time with Ray. I love it.
Yes, we're into overtime. We're into Ray, you've been an amazing guest. You're super talented. We love seeing everything that you're doing and getting all your insights. I wanted to actually go around and actually look at what Matt and Paul have been creating tonight. So who wants to go first? Give me that look.
Paul does.
Give me that look.
Pretty sure.
There's Paul. So.
Come on, Paul.
I'm working on them.
What was the topics again?
Irritated
Thug.
Irritated thug.
Still blocking.
Very good.
Looks good. Looks
ton
good
of material. I mean, this whole thing could change into something else. I got so much.
So aren't they so great to carve though?
I love them. Yeah,
they really are the best.
Yeah, the colors and the density of the material.
Yeah, the moisture of it and everything. It just stays nice.
It's hard. It's actually hard to pick up a fucking pumpkin after them.
I know.
It really is.
Yeah. It's like those and like a Hubbard squash.
Hubbards are awesome. Yeah, those. Yeah. Remember, I think I had a small red Hubbard, but they didn't call it a red Hubbard at the grocery store. So it's so confused. I'm like, it looks like a Hubbard, and it carves like a Hubbard. Who gives a shit? It's a good little pumpkin. It's a magical little pumpkin.
I know which ones. It's like red Hubbards, I think.
Yeah, they're like baby red Hubbards.
Yeah.
You can't find them big.
In Germany, you can.
In Germany?
In Germany. Yeah. That's where you did all those,
Yeah, they had so many. I tried to have some shipped to Carefree once. There's just too much hoops to jump through, but yeah. And then I tried to locate a place here in the U.S. Someone's got to grow them. I know where you can order the seeds for them because they order the people that grow them in Germany. Get the seeds from that Johnny Appleseed company up in I don't know, they're up in Maine or Vermont or somewhere up there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But
so I can find giant blue Hubbards whenever I want. I mean, they've got big ones. I've seen ones almost 24 inches long.
But the red ones are really cool because they don't. I mean, the blue ones are good too. You know what I mean? Yeah. But the nice thing about the red ones, when you don't want the blue ones kind of go from green to yellow, like they change color. That works
as you go in.
Yeah, sometimes it works perfect for like that Gilman one. It really the layers of the colors worked out for how deep and stuff. But at least with the orange is predictable and it has more of that classic
pumpkin
orange look, you know.
Yeah.
So,
I'm gonna have to get on that. I'm gonna have to start growing some.
See, you're gonna catch the bug again.
I feel like there's $1 million idea, or I feel like there's a $25 idea in the making of my make a couple of dollars.
So my thug Mickey. See if you can get that any better. Come on, I'm gonna use your technique.
got thug nose.
He's kind of beaten up. He's got his ass kicked a bunch of times, and again, I'm like Paul. I got him. Why is it so? Hang on, let's see if I can get a little bit more. No. Well, I just got a blurry camera today.
That's all right.
Anyway, so you can. It's rough to the point where you can kind of see what's going on anyway. But here, I'll do this.
There you go.
Oh, it's like a whole different sculpture.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So I figured he's going to be, but he's irritated, right? So he's kind of going to have that like Carrie Strug, like.
Carrie Strug. Nice reference.
I got Olympics on the mind, right? So I'm going to work with his mouth to make him a little bit more of a pouty bastard, but
I didn't know who that was. I figured it was some actor. I'm not into sports or movies, so I just figured it was an actor. Who did you say?
Her name is Carrie Strug. She was in the Olympics a couple Olympics ago, and she got a silver when she thought she was going to get a gold or something like that, or bronze. And so then the famous look was this kind of like it was like Americans think they have to always win gold, and then you see her face being like, oh, silver.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I was channeling. I was channeling that kind of feeling,
Nice work.
He's irritated,
Well, thank you, Ray, for being here tonight. It's been an absolute pleasure. If you want to follow more of Ray's work, his Instagram is Villafane Studios. Is there anywhere else that we can find your work or buy your work?
Instagram, Facebook, and gonna do more. I keep saying it, but on National Potato Day, I'm gonna commit to it. More.
We're hearing it first. We're hearing it first, people.
Yeah, more activity on YouTube, and just some more content will be coming.
More content.
Yeah, more content.
You're already very generous with it.
You've got arms and legs in stock at limited stock for the arms and legs. Did I see that?
No legs right now, just the arms right now.
Just the arms. Well, jump on those, everybody, while you got a chance.
Yeah, there's apparently there's a shortage of urethane foam too.
Jesus.
Everything.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, like my wife, it's crazy. Like even she dropped her phone in the ocean recently, and in order to get another Samsung like she had, it was like months of waiting because there's a shortage of some chips and stuff.
Right. Yeah.
Holy moly.
Yep.
Yeah, we got a pantry full of chips. I'll send them up.
Yeah, right.
Well, she went back to an iPhone, which worked out. I have iPhone, so now we can FaceTime and stuff. So.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
You're not beating an iPhone.
I got corn, potato,
all kinds of chips.
Tortilla
chips.
Well, save some chips for August 19th.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's right. Yeah, get your popcorn ready, kids. Ray's got some stuff.
Yeah, I'm gonna find some cool potatoes. I hope to find some those big ones. I'm gonna do regular and sweet potato. Yeah.
Nice.
On the YouTube, I'll carve live through one, but I'd like to have the content of another that was released on that date as well, though.
Yep.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
Well, we'll be sure to remind everybody too as the date gets closer to be sure and tune in.
National Potato Day. You all should be carving a potato.
We will that day.
We will.
We must.
It's National Potato Day. You owe it that respect.
Exactly. I'm actually going to have gnocchis and French fries.
There you go.
Well.
And as a novice, I actually tried to when I saw that you carved that potato, Ray. I actually tried it. It is a lot more difficult than I expected. It has definitely a different consistency to it. But it was definitely one of those challenges that I actually learned from. So I was actually very appreciative.
What tools were you using? Were you using triangle tools?
I was using triangle tools that I bought from you. Yes, exactly.
Awesome.
Yes. And I failed miserably only because of me, not because of the tools. A good carpenter doesn't blame his tools. And so I'm not blaming the tools. I blame myself. But it was a great learning experience.
Hey, failing miserably is the first step.
Right.
100%.
Yeah.
Do it again. Do it again.
100%. Well, we got through episode 1 of season 2. If you would like to follow, like, subscribe, tell a friend about our show. We're on social media. We're on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitch. Paul and Matt, did you have anything that you wanted to any last words?
I'll say I don't think there's anybody that follows us that doesn't follow the Godfather Ray. So thank you, Ray. We're just so glad you're so generous with your time and your talents, and we're just really glad to be able to sit here and talk with you. It's a pretty awe-inspiring thing for us. So thank you.
Dude, thank you for having me. Everything you got right here is awesome. Like really, really is. I that time flew by because I really enjoyed talking and hanging out with you guys. So
that means the world, man. Thank you.
We enjoy hanging out with you too, buddy.
Very good.
Thank you so much. And we will see you next week. We will have, he's an extreme original artist, designer, toy maker, and painter, Tim Gore, on the show. So definitely check that out. That'll be next Thursday, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern for another Carvers and Creators. Thank you so much, everyone. Good night.
Thank you.
All right, everybody.